So we got crafting and item quality, right? So crafted items and gathered reagents will have quality. Crafted equipment has got 5 levels of quality. Actually, do we have this? I do want to do this using Blizzard's thing, just so I can actually show people things. So just to take a look at the crafting order thing here, you know, you can see here the reagents that you're providing, the optional ones that you want to provide, the minimum quality noted, public order, so I guess there's maybe private orders, a little note to the crafter, a commission, a duration, you know, all that. And then here's actually browsing some crafting orders, so you can click on one of these and be like, oh yeah, cool, I can make that. Away you go. Now, before we do quality, let's talk about the profession specializations, right? So, profession specializations let you specialize in your primary crafting and gathering professions once you've reached a high enough skill level. When you do that, you earn specialization points through a variety of activities and spend them to permanently improve different areas of your profession. And this is one of the main ways you differentiate yourself from your peers, because there are many areas in each profession to specialize in. More on this later. Basically, right? You hit max level crafting. You don't have all the shit. As you do stuff within crafting, you get these specialization points. You basically then get to spend them in a talent tree. So that, you know, you're a max level crafter, and you've done a bunch of work, got a bunch of progression, and you can invest it in all of these different things. So you could specialize yourself in one thing that maybe your buddy doesn't have themselves specialized in, so the two of you can get things covered. Maybe your guild is going to talk about how, you know, all of you want to specialize your crafting characters, or maybe for the people, really often in guilds, there's just a few people who really love crafting and just supporting everyone else. Yep. They can start to coordinate where they want to, you know, grow their characters, right? So not only do you just have it go up, you then basically have a talent tree. Like, that's awesome. I don't know if that's there for the gathering skills, but even there, there's a lot of, you know, a lot of potential. And then we go into crafting. So here are quality icons. This is a new thing, okay? So crafting quality is there for both crafted items and many gathered reagents. So crafted equipment has got 5 levels of possible quality, and many other ones, like potions and ores, will have 3 levels of quality. So their example they provide here for gear and item level kind of helps. So a piece of crafted leveling gear might be eye level 270, 272, 274, 277, 280 at each of these 5 different tiers. So, you know, eventually someone will be able to make the best version. They say that in all cases, they want to have the quality matter enough for it to be worth your effort to achieve the higher qualities without having the gains being so large that the low quality version doesn't feel worthwhile. But then what's cool is, it's not like you just choose to craft the best one. Some of this is actually going to depend on your, I suppose, your specialization points, your specializations, what crafting gear you're actually wearing, because there is crafting gear that I suppose has like stats and stuff that will help you craft.
Your inspiration?
Yeah, like inspiration is one of the stats. So all of this like makes crafting so much more like intricate and dynamic. They say that then for crafted items like consumables that have quality, the effects of the quality are a bit more varied. For most, higher quality will result in a more powerful effect, but in some other cases, it might end up with a longer duration or more charges. So basically, you could have, of whatever the health potion is, there'll be 3 different qualities of it. So if you're the person who can craft the highest quality health potion the earliest, that's going to be like a, you know, pretty sweet thing for you to do as an alchemist. But it also means if you just need a quick, quick potion, or, you know, you're on farm night, but you still want to use some pots, you can use the cheaper pots.
Yeah.
Perhaps, right? So we'll have to see how the economy, you know, overall balances out, because they do say here, note that there is an expectation that low quality versions of these items will sell for less, but this will provide a niche for those who don't want to spend a lot of gold to be able to make use of the full suite of crafted items. And that's already something we see happening in enchanting. Like at the start of an expansion, how many people are maybe using the blue or the green enchants? You know, the cheaper enchants, because it's like, it's not much of a difference and it's gear you will place quickly anyway. So for some people, they do that. So here is an example that I guess will show us some of the UI, okay? So here's Dragon Isle's crafting for alchemy. You can see here's the person's, like, I don't know, I assume that's their skill bar, but it's labeled whenever you hover over it. So the reagents here are Draconic Vials, Awakened Frost, Saxifrage?
Saxifrage, yeah.
Saxifrage, yeah.
Saxifrage, yeah.
So here's the crafting details. This is a 200 difficulty craft. Crafting skill 33, resourcefulness stat 22, inspiration 7. And you can see here, this is you crafting it at like the rank 1. And then the more that you can, through your skill, resourcefulness, and inspiration, kind of move that bar up, the more likely you are to get the 2-star. Inspiration basically acts like a critical strike. So with inspiration, you could crit a tier 2 or crit a tier 3. Okay, so that's kind of that. Here they have, there's also then finishing reagents too. These are a new type of reagent that are used to improve aspects of the crafting process. Increasing skill or crafting stats is like one example. I guess similar to the optional reagents that we have seen. So here is brewed salt, which is a finishing reagent, right? So it will provide the following property. Increases inspiration by 9 and crafting speed by 15. And this is usable with many Dragon Isle alchemy and leather armor recipes. So I guess this could be used to make some gear. See, why does this look like Diablo Immortal gems for crafting gear? That's totally in your brain, dude.
Yeah, that I can see, and
like, that's like imagined demons.
Yeah, I completely, very fitting giving Diablo, but I completely understand a substantial amount of fear here. There's a lot of fear and a lot of cynicism.
You can't fail crafting unknown.
Yeah, you can not get a bonus, but
like FF14.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're going to be reductive about it, if you're going to, slam WoW for that, you got to slam FF14 as well. It's
a remixed version of the FF crafting system with some Guild Wars 2 stuff thrown in there as well, as far as I understand. But it's like there's a lot of people kind of being worried and afraid. I don't think this is intended to be a WoW token farming system, because this is a game designer's doing a lot of work. If they wanted to get WoW tokens better, there's more effective ways than hiring a bunch of professional designers. All they have to do is crank some sort of different knob to make that happen. And also Blizzard are super aware that, like, they watched what happened to Diablo Immortal. They did. They didn't like go, okay, well, I guess maybe we'll try again. They definitely know what happened. They know the feedback. They know what people are saying. They can actually watch you, right? So, I mean, they'll see comments. They're not going to hide away, even though it seems like they do sometimes.
Yeah, I guess it's just the level of jaded. Like, there's a few comments here about, like, joking about, like, oh, money. Could you use money to get a better craft? It's like, obviously no. Yeah, obviously that will never happen in WoW.
See, this is where there actually genuinely is a problem, right? Because money is so deeply ingrained within the World of Warcraft economy today. Oh, it has been since TBC Wrath, with the RMT kind of getting important. So it's like, or because people have the value. So there's definitely parts of this where you're going to have BOE stuff. There's going to be, reagents that don't bind. And you'll be able to, just buy those with money. There's no real getting around to that, while also having it, without having every single reagent be soulbound. But you can tell that they're actually kind of trying to go through this with some point where you can probably spend a lot of money to get it faster. But fundamentally, it is still a loop of crafting your own stuff and improving. Yeah. It is a thing for you to do. And there's also a small thing of, I guess, if it's fully economically tied, then I could see how you could say, we'll just skip all of it with money and get to the high end to control the economy. But that's, I think, why they're also doing the 9.2.7 changes to put everything together region-wide, because that means bots will compete with each other tremendously and smash their own prices down to pieces, which means reagents should be relatively cheaper across the board. Yeah. There's a whole number of things I see that they definitely thought about this in a little bit. I think people saying, crafting slot machine. There is a level of randomness that I think is acceptable.
Yeah.
This is very, very difficult because people think in absolutes, largely speaking.
Yeah. Well,
sorry. Everyone thinks in absolutes.
There you go.
But there's a difference between like something like honing or something like that, where there's just a chance of failing, and that's hard work you put in that's lost. There's a difference there to this, in the sense that this is within a relative amount of there is a small amount of RNG within a bounded frame. You can push through that with gear. I think that is reasonable enough.
Yes.
But I can also understand why people say, it's random. It's reason.
Can we?
It's
a second. Can we stop having fucking takes and start having fucking well thought through, considered opinions?
I'm trying, but it's very hard.
I guess what fucks me off, right, is everything gets turned into a 3-letter slogan. You know? Build back better.
Yeah.
Or, whatever.
Yeah,
build back better. Get Brexit done. Like, that's
One,
what
two, three.
like,
One, two,
everything fucking turns into a 3-letter slogan. And now there's this thing. People are like, RNG. Bad. Read.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they'll probably think that I'm now a hypocrite for saying that because I have been critical of RNG elements. No, it's just a tool in game design.
Yeah.
You get frustrated when the tool doesn't get used right or gets used in a way that is unsustainable, like with Titan forging. But it doesn't mean that as soon as you hear the word RNG, it's time to have flashbacks of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Or to say that, like, oh, because it was kind of frustrating over there, we can never use it again. And now it's a dirty word. And now it's, the well's truly poisoned. And you can never do that.
Yeah.
And I guess what's happened with... I don't know.
They've, like, Blizzard as a company have really caused themselves this problem in a bunch of ways. But also it's kind of like a little bit of online discourse, a little bit of general stuff.
Yeah.
People are getting really, really frustrated at some of this overall stuff, I think.
That's it.
There's like,
Vanilla's got it. Remove crit because it's RNG. It's unfair.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, and then over in FF14, they're like, hey, we're removing the impact of crit because we think it's on this one thing ability, specifically the samurai stuff, because it's a little bit too... People were like, no, but I liked big crit. Like, it does the same amount of damage average, but I liked big crit. So people actually do like it when it benefits them. But people are afraid. Cypherink says, buy WoW token, buy gold, buy work order, repeat until you get the item you want. How do you not see this? The point is, it's bounded within reason, where in the existing system, you'd be able to WoW token for BOEs and crafted gold gear to that point. Everything that will be outside the bound of what they want you to buy will be using soulbound materials, which means the person who wants to wear the gear will have to earn the material themselves. And they'll likely be earning gear at the same time they're doing that. So it's not just, hey, we've made this into a...
Yeah, and they've also made it that upgrading that gear from like normal to heroic to mythic is actually cheap. It's actually very cheap in terms of the resources that cost gold. The thing that you need to do that is the soulbound stuff that you get from the raid.
Yeah.
And they've at numerous points talked about never wanting to do the legendary thing again.
Yeah.
Right? So if this entire system was designed as a scheme to get more WoW token money, then...
It's really inefficient.
It's pretty inefficient. You would just do something more like the legendaries that we've just had, which absolutely was just a WoW token moneymaker.
Yeah, you would just put an official boosting channel in the game.
So, yeah, oh boy!